going to a second location.
Wow, that's a real party. One time I got in really big trouble for ghostwriting the whip. Is this Wall Street? Stuff it down, keep it inside, and throw a glass into a dumpster later.
This is my podcast. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my podcast. I'm Jaci Terjeson, stand-up comedian, writer, activist, hot air balloon owner, and also there may be some warrants out on my name. That is neither here nor there. You're listening to the manic world of Jaci Terj, where I bring comedians on to talk about different times that they've lost it. They've seen other people lose it. Hey, we all get a little manic sometimes. And I like to talk about it. So here with me today, the very lovely comedian who is a Tacoma darling, was also a Seattle darling, is just a darling in general. She's been on numerous comedy festivals. She's opened for huge names. She's a huge name herself. She's also been on Comedy Central. Not a big deal.
Hey.
Welcome Erin Ingle to the pod.
Hi. Hello. Thanks for having me, Jackie.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited to hear that this podcast has reached number 1 on YouTunes, MeTunes,
all the tunes,
Onescape,
Toontown,
Netberg, all of them. Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I wasn't planning on giving a speech, but I wanted to thank. No, thank you for being here. Did I get those? Was there anything else that you wanted to credit yourself?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I always like to. We just had you. Early 2025 on Is This Normal, podcast I co-host with Alyssa Yeoman, another dear darling. So yeah, we've got, it's sort of like the podverse is on fire in along the I-5 corridor. So
it is in fuego.
Absolutely.
If I can use that. And
absolutely.
your podcast is so fun.
Oh, it's a blast. I'm so glad you were there. Got some great comments already on whether it's normal to hook your bra in the front and spin it around or hook it in the back. Controversial stuff.
Still can't believe that. Still cannot believe to this day that people can put their bra on normal side.
People,
hook it in the
baby.
Back.
Yes.
I think I would lose an arm if I did that.
Well, I mean, you just lose feeling in it. Is the and that's fine.
It goes numb.
But I can't stand to have my breasts try to hop over a wire. It's not happening. So
that makes sense. See, I like that. I like that exposedness. I like the jiggle. I like this is probably too much for this podcast, but it's empowering.
It is. Feels good
as a woman. What have you been up to? Like, what's going on in your world?
In my world, let's see. I've been, like you said, I was in Seattle for many years. Moved back to Tacoma in 2020. Been kind of, a little slow and steady on the stand-up since my my firstborn came in March.
You dropped your firstborn.
Since I dropped that baby. Yeah, and expecting another.
What?
Yeah.
No.
On cam.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, thanks. Who knows when this podcast will be out,
Oh my gosh.
Big
I know,
news.
your baby will be 5 by the time this is out. Oh my God, that's so exciting.
So big news, very excited. So yeah, I've just been like, I love that we have more offstage opportunities to get together with comedians, to like work on stuff like this. Love the effort, love the connection, outside of 8 to 10 p.m.
Oh my God, same. I'm like, listen, how can I monetize my friendships more?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
We should have camera people when we go for coffee walks.
Oh,
we should have...
For sure.
We should have probably like what those fish that have like a little protuberance that's like lit up.
Yes.
And we should have those, but like 360-degree cameras, so we never stop making content.
Quality content.
Absolutely.
That people would enjoy.
Good stuff. I'm talking bathroom songs. I
mean, you would forget. I would forget to turn it off when I'm like doing my business.
We can't live stream it. For legal purposes, it cannot be a live stream. Yeah. We're going to need editors, I think.
This is the real YouTube or the MeToo.
MeTube has exploded.
I just feel like so many things would be caught on camera that I wouldn't like, but would feel compelled to put out, again, for the numbers, for the people. They want to see how
And you're like, this is
Crazy.
hashtag real life. This is like hashtag like unfiltered, like what goes on.
And it's not even like crazy, like tabloid shit. It's like I'm sitting in a corner of my kitchen eating peanut butter out of the jar. I'm like, this is real life, okay?
You get to watch me adjust my posture during dinner 4 times and be like, wow, I really do sit like a C. I'm not. Yep.
It's like, my husband and I call it like, we eat like we have just freshly gotten out of prison.
Just shoveling it, like getting as close to the table as possible. Yeah, I could just on the drive over here, I like realized I was in like turtleneck mode, just sticking out like this. Like, what am I doing? There's a whole back of chair I could be observing.
Right. Like, what shape is your spine supposed to be? I keep getting Instagram, what are those things
Posture,
called?
like,
ads, advertisements, if you will, for
like,
Taylor
hey,
Swift.
scoliosis, bitch. Like, stand up.
They're like, listen. Okay, first of all, I'm getting a lot of upper lip mustache ones too, which I'm like, red. It's like, hey, you little hairy lip chipmunk.
You're like, what did I click on? What did I click on at one point that made this happen?
For real. I mean, they're not wrong. But
well, still.
Anyway.
Edited.
Wow, how are you feeling?
Doing pretty well. Yeah, I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling lively,
wealthy, and wise.
Sleepy all the time, but that's been the case for the past 2 years.
Yeah. So you're
also
oldest,
most of my life.
Your oldest kid is 2.
Mm-hmm. He'll be 2. Yeah, he's 2 in March, and the next one will come in August of 25. So.
And he'll be like 2.5.
Yeah, they'll be about 2.5 years apart. So,
great.
Yeah.
Good.
Crazy. 2 of them. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just thinking this week. I'm like 2 is a lot, but you have if you have a partner, you have 1-on-1.
Yep.
Right. It's like great. You got defense. You got
man,
offense.
Yeah, man defense.
Man to man. 3, it's like juggling with like bowling pins, but like while you're juggling, one bowling pin is like biting the other one. And
trying to knock a knife down
into
something.
One and a different one is like, why don't you let me play Roblox? All my friends are loud, and you're just like, I can't keep all these.
They're
in
like,
the air.
You're like, what is your name even? Could you remind me? Yeah,
100%.
I hit the screen.
Please don't. This is
she cute.
My likeness. Well, that's cool. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I don't know why I didn't just tell you before we walked in this room.
No, this was perfect way to find out. This is real. People are going to say this is fake. This is really
haters will say.
Haters will say. There's a lot of haters who listen to my podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd like to address them right now.
Please.
Thanks for the engagement.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Very cool. So you have a almost 2-year-old. He'll be 2 in March.
And we did just have this conversation about 3 seconds ago.
Did we?
Yeah.
Who are you? And where am I?
My name is Vanessa Carlton.
Yes. Vanessa Carlton.
Yeah. Do you think I can get sued for that? No. Okay, I take it back.
Only
Vanessa
if you
Marie
start
Carlton.
playing the piano.
And I would never.
But you know what? Carlton, it was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Is that right? And that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, was that the sister's name?
Really good free association right now.
Oh, God. I could do that all day. It's like food for me.
That's exactly what I'm watching my toddler do. Like, if he's in the backseat chattering, he's going from A to B to, like, bubbles. And then when he just, like, thinks of a word that, like, kind of rhymes with it, he moves on to another thing. It's incredible stuff to watch.
So your kid is just free balling the car. No screens in the car.
No, not for, like, around town.
Right.
No, but we haven't done a big road trip.
It's going to change real soon.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. My
delighted.
kids, I don't let them watch screens either. They're in the closet most of the day. But
you should let them come out.
I mean, they do get water breaks. They do get calisthenic. They do a lot of heavy lifting.
Like prison workouts.
Cinder blocks need to be moved.
Anvil shoving.
Yes, often. So let's are you an emotional person? I don't know this about you.
This is great. I've been kind of searching my heart, searching my history. About like whether am I an emotional person or not. I certainly like am a feeling person. I don't think I have super like dysregulated responses that much though. I think
Brag much? Girl.
Yeah, she cannot stand to have people be upset with her. I think like there's some of that. There's like just, you know, of course, I'm like try to use humor as a response to any like stressful situation. Yeah. But what I've been reflecting on a little bit since we started talking about this pod is that like when I think about what it's like for me to blow up, like what it's like for me to pop off.
Yeah.
It is almost like because I think I operate at a pretty like low intensity level.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I get like stressed and I get curt or like short or less goof aroundy, people take that as like they would if I was yelling at them.
Okay.
So
because they're so used to you being so even keeled.
I think, and that, you know, I wouldn't say necessarily even keeled, but like non-confrontational or whatever, like that I have made a habit in my workplace of like giving people a warning, like, I'm pretty stressed out right now, and I just need you guys to know that I'm not going to be jokey fun times.
Yeah,
and
so healthy.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of busy or stressed or whatever. So,
wow,
don't take it personal. Yeah,
that's so emotionally intelligent. If I can.
Wow.
Also, you said you get curt. I'm curious. Russell?
If only I would dream.
Had to clarify that.
Top curt.
You like how I was thinking about that the entire time? I'm like, don't lose it. Okay, so interesting. So you can feel yourself getting to this place where you're like a little cranky, a little sassy sass, and you've come to the place where you realize like how people are going to take you, or have like routinely if you're in that space, and you're like, just to let you guys know, just to clarify.
I have some, like, in some worlds that I feel like I can get ahead of that and be on top of it, like, especially in, like, the professional world.
Yeah.
At home, like, if I'm hangry or whatever, like, riled up, then what that's usually going to look like is me, like, I don't know, saying something. It's kind of a similar thing where it's not like I'm not a yeller. I'm not, like, I'm not going to, like, flip a table.
Yeah.
Unless it's a very funny goof to me.
Right. Unless it's a bit.
As a bit.
Totally. I think it would be a very funny bit to see you like flip a table.
Yeah.
Like just because nobody's expecting that from you.
I would. I did it one time playing a board game with with my now husband's brother.
Yeah.
And he's also a pretty even keeled guy.
Yeah.
And I like lost the game and thought it would be funny to flip the board game, and he thought it was so unbecoming. He was like, I've never seen anyone do that. That was so childish. I was like, I was trying to be funny. I don't know. But I did
like, but I guess fuck you.
I guess now I'm mad.
What was the game?
Could not tell you. Something convoluted, I'm sure. Yeah. But that's what I think I will more get, like, I'll like be snippy or something like that. Like a little shorter, a little like, I don't know, like my husband was like, where is this like baby thing that we needed kind of urgently in the moment?
Yeah.
And I like took that to mean that he had checked the places where it might be. Yeah. And then I got up to do it, and then I rifled through all of the places it might be, except for the last place that it was, which I thought would be very apparent. And I said, did you even look? And then that was like a whole thing for
right.
So that was me like blowing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you even look? And did he?
He, reader, had a little bit. He had looked
I feel like
a little bit.
This is like going to be a controversial hot take.
Yeah.
And this is not for your husband, but husbands in general.
Sure.
Taking a look, not the same thing as when we take a look.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. I have been lightly working on what I think would be a fun like PowerPoint presentation called I'm Not Trying to Be a Bitch, but and one of them is so you can't find this thing. You know, one major slide, you can't find it? Did you check where it usually is? Okay. Did you check like
a flow chart
within a foot around there in any direction? Or it's a process.
Is this a live show, or is this like a personal PowerPoint that you would only send your husband? You spend like 10 hours working on this.
Like I actually need you to take the afternoon off because we're gonna work through
You're
this.
Like, this is heavy, and also it's like every single thing is like animated to slide in with like the whoosh, whoosh.
Oh, you got to focus on your transitions.
You really do.
Now, this is mostly, I would say this is like broader humanity gripes, not just interpersonal hubby-wife gripies.
No, I wanted to bring you on here to just shit talk on her husband.
Finally.
Everybody knows.
Finally put it on wax.
That is how you deal with marital conflicts.
Is you go on a podcast.
I avoid, and then I pretend everything's okay, and then I spend a lot of money producing a podcast so that I can get it out.
Yeah, other people go to therapy. Like,
you can't monetize therapy. At least I haven't found a way.
in Washington
legally.
State, no, it seems that you can't. So here it is.
So here we are. And I would like to also talk about a rash. I'm going to also monetize my physical health.
Oh, good. You really could monetize anything going on with that skin.
Oh, for real? Are you a pimple popper video watcher?
I'm not. I'm not. But I do linger a little, and I do have a whole folder of skin photos on my phone just to track.
Of your own?
My own
skin. I mean, that's...
I didn't say that.
I'm not saying it's a kink. I'm not saying it's not a kink, but I am saying it's healthy.
I mean,
and short for dermatologist, would probably be like super amped about that. I would think.
I mean, lessons learned over time. Because what are they going to ask you? Like, has this changed? I don't know. It looks like this now.
Right.
So.
And then you just send that to your doctor every day. I'm sure there are people who do that.
There probably are.
They're like, how about now?
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, glad I didn't get an advanced degree. Ooh.
Wow. Love a mole, though. Love a skin bump.
You got any tags?
I don't have any skin tags that are visible. Nice. Oh, shit. But I do have dermatillomania, which is like a picking disorder. It's very much like the people who pick their hair without realizing it, but I will pick at my skin without realizing it. And so like it's a very high partnership with ADHD. And so, which I have I said that yet on the podcast? It's like a freaking branding sponsorship at this point.
Can you get sponsored?
I'm looking into that.
ADHD HQ?
Yeah. Oh, ADHD headquarters?
Yeah. Let's look into it.
Or head. I can't think of anything else that starts with a Q. Quiet. But yeah, so I'll like pick at my skin and it'll move on my body to where
a little hot spot.
Yeah, like a little hot spot, and I won't realize I'm doing it. So it'll be like maybe I have avoided a problem, and I'm like, like whatever, picking at something. Yeah. So
do those closest to you notice and point it out? Yeah,
like some of my best friends, they're the best at being like, leave your hand alone. I'd be like, oh. Like, because I won't. And it'll be, like, it's social. I don't have social anxiety, but I can. Like, I'll be.
It's, like, one of the ways you probably quell it.
Totally. Yeah. So, I guess a little about me.
Yeah. Now we know.
Crazy.
About the manic.
A little manic, a little picky.
Dermatological.
This is actually we're going to change the topic of this podcast. Great. It is going to be.
It's all skin.
Yeah, it is all skin.
It's all skin with Jaci Terjeson.
Epidermis. So when you were growing up, what emotionally was your model? Like, did you see either of your parents like lose it a lot? Anything like that? Close relations?
Well, love this topic. Okay. My mom, pretty mild. She, I would say, does not have a temper. She like doesn't have a short temper. She doesn't swear. Like she doesn't. We did get spanked. Okay. Like that was like if we really pushed our limit, we got spanked. And we would just like weep and like be like, please no, I understand, but like trying to like get out of it or whatever.
Yeah, running away from the no, that's very 90s. I feel like I was spanked too. Wooden spoon.
Preferred wooden spoon. We loved a wooden spoon in our house. Yes. A hairbrush as well.
Oh God.
It was reversed, but I think it caught it was a little more aerodynamic. You know,
it was reversed. Like, so
yeah, it wasn't spiny side.
Okay.
So it was a paddle, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have memories of times when, like, my brother and I were both in for it, and I remember one time I, like, came to get my comeuppance, and he ran off, and it was like, ooh, he is not, you made a mistake.
You're like, here, Mom, here's my butt.
Presenting.
Are you older or younger?
I'm younger. I'm 3 years younger.
Okay. Love a comeuppance, too. Love the word.
My brother is one of the people I tapped to say, like, can you recall a time when I have lost my shit?
Yeah.
And, or seen someone else lose their shit.
Yeah.
And he said that he could not recall a time when he saw me lose my shit, but he brought up some fun little memories of other times we've seen it happen. He claims, I think rightfully, that we are pretty decent emotional regulators. But yeah, we had same mom, same dad, series of step families throughout. So they were divorced forever. My dad was also not like a yeller. He was not really much of a disciplinarian because he was not like he was like part-time dad.
Right.
And but in my like later teen years, he did lay the law down a few times with like the handful of things that really that he found to be serious offenses.
Yeah.
Like one time I got in really big trouble for ghostwriting the whip.
Oh, shit.
Why did I tell him I did it? My bad.
Oh, so he didn't witness it.
No. I just like told him I had a fun thing with my friends that afternoon in like my friend's trailer park. But I was like, it just felt like it was a zero risk thing. And he was like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, why would you do that?
I would love for you to not get run over on accident.
By an unmanned car. I will be embarrassed. You would bring shame to our family.
Like, Dad, ghost ride the whip.
Duh. and I'm sure we would laugh about it now.
Yeah.
But not a yeller. But then I had a stepdad. My first stepdad was an angry man, a drunk, an angry guy. And so he would like yell about little things, like if we like didn't get a good grade or whatever. And then he was also like, a sometimes joyful drunk. So very unpredictable, very mercurial.
Yeah. How long was he a part of this situation?
He was my stepdad from when I was like 3 to 10.
Okay. So, wow.
Yeah.
Really put the in dad and stepdad. Yeah.
He's also dead now. So
okay. Ooh, didn't mean to talk ill of the dead.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, let's keep going.
He would not even cut it as a ghost, I'll be honest.
Wow.
Sorry to those that may have cared about him.
This is a safe place.
Yeah. So he was somebody who I saw lose it.
Yeah.
And it was like definitely not a good look, right?
Yeah,
so I think I had that as an example of like what not to do.
Yeah.
I had my mom being like pretty mild, where I was like probably had sometimes thinking like maybe you could stand up for him, but we also just like when he would get really bad, we would just leave.
Okay. So would your mom like kind of placate?
For sure.
Or
she would just be like, you're drunk, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
Like that was sort of the jam. I'm sure I like traumatized some of my childhood friends, like when they came over for sleepovers and we had to go to my mom's friend's house that night.
Yeah.
So we saw like...
You're like, we're going to a second location.
Wow, it's a real party. We'll call your parents on the way. Yeah. Would we? I'm going to forget. My mom had one of those cell phones that was like this big, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always wanted one of those. I wanted my parents to have one.
Yeah. So you could be like, is this Wall Street? Beep, beep. The president's on.
I had one of those, but it was like, I think gum came out of the top.
Oh, sick.
I was like, hurry, they're on the roof.
You can't have toys shaped like cell phones anymore. There wouldn't be enough room to stuff candy inside of them.
That's true.
That's a fucking shame.
That is, kids these days will never know.
No. You can't get gumballs out of there.
This is probably the biggest tragedy happening in our world right now.
I'm so glad you've mentioned this because this is a hard topic to talk about. But not fitting candy inside of pretend cell phones. And I know we just went through the election and it's like they didn't do anything. It's like nobody's talking about it. Right.
And also the prices of toy cell phones have gone way up.
Way up.
Since January 6th.
Hundreds of dollars for toy cell phones, which is really just like a cell phone that doesn't work anymore.
What I want at this point is a toy cell phone that has a bunch of eggs in it.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Like chicken eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere is out.
That's true. Yeah. That would be a very expensive phone.
But it would be very hard to fit them. So it would just be like all the crust and the crushed up eggs. I'd still fry it up. I'm not going to lie. This is how desperate I am at this point.
Yeah. You just, maybe if it was all liquid, it could be like a flask and then you dump out the egg.
Ooh.
And like.
Yes. You can gas on that shit. I paid $8 for a carton of eggs yesterday.
That's goddamn
$8.
Yeah. I just haven't bought them because I see those egg prices. I said, I guess I'm a tofu girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scramble that shit up.
Mm-hmm. It's delicious.
Put some cheese on it.
Imagine a cell phone shaped like a block of tofu.
Oh, or a tofu shaped like
an egg.
Or an egg. I think what we're really boiling this down to is that you can shape a lot of things like other things. Oh. And I think this is, again, something that nobody's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a good platform for you.
Thank you. I'm going to change this topic of this podcast one more time. So stepdad era. I just asked if you felt like your mom placated because you had said sometimes I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No,
but
please,
did
read
you
on.
say people, please?
Oh, for sure. I didn't. I implied that, yes.
Okay,
and I believe we've talked about that before. Okay. So, I would say I'm a bit of a people pleaser. I'm a bit of a peacemaker. Would rather, I think that I really admire people that do like make waves because they're doing the right thing or they're like standing up for themselves or whatever. So that's something that I like want. It's a goal. It's something I definitely want to work on about myself. But at the end of the day, I'm like embarrassed by like, sometimes I'm embarrassed by big emotions. I find I had one boyfriend who like probably the worst I've ever behaved or like the most I've ever argued, the most I've ever like lost my shit has probably been with this one exhausting ex of mine.
Kurt?
It was Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Okay.
And
what I thought.
I was his mistress, and it was a bad situation.
I hope you're listening to this.
I mean, I would be honored, but also like, please forgive me. And I'm lying.
Yeah, she's a big supporter of the pod. But anyway, go on. So with him, it was just...
It was tension. It was because he was a very argumentative person.
Okay.
And also a drinker. Oof. And of course I was drinking
big
too. We were like
energy.
in our, it was in our early 20s. I was drinking plenty too. But when we would fight, he would like move the goalpost all the time to where like whatever we started like getting into it about was no longer like being addressed by the end of the conversation, and it would drive me fucking insane. Yeah. And so he at one point, this is in all of my combing through my history, I think probably the like most I've ever lost it was in some fucking argument with this guy at our studio apartment, and I like threw a little Scotch tape dispenser at the wall. Yeah. And he was like, wow. You're going to act like that. That's like so immature. That's a sign of an abusive personality. And I was like, I fucking hate you.
So what it sounds like to me is this guy literally pushed you to the point.
That's how I feel. That's how I reflect on the time.
I mean, just a quick read on the situation.
And that's once I like took a step back and had some perspective on it, because like I've told this story many times. But I was with him when my dad passed away. Okay. So my dad dies in May of 2023. And then
Who would be worthy of being a ghost, by the way.
Would be such a funny ghost. He would be actually and very much believed in ghosts. So probably is out there ghosting. So my dad passed away. This is May. The next month is my birthday. And my birthday is always pretty much right around the weekend of Father's Day. Okay. So I was like, heavy. Totally. Like, this is going to be a shitty weekend. Blah. Yeah. I just want to like get out of town. Like, can we just go on a little trip? This ex, we'll call him Shitty Philip. Okay.
Because Philip is his name.
Yeah. And he was shitty. So I had like was emailing him at work, like, what if we go to the coast this weekend? He had never seen the Pacific Ocean. I was like, let's go see the ocean. Loser. It's my birthday. I need this like to like get away or on Father's Day. Right. I emailed him this idea to go to the coast while he's at work. And he replied back that he felt like he needed to talk to me about some things. Like.
What?
Like I'd been acting kind of weird lately. Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh. And it had only been a month since your dad passed.
And I was super sad. And so I'd been acting weird and kind of distant, and he just wanted to know like what was going on. And I was like, you fucking dipshit. Like I just was like, this is the end of this relationship. Like,
and that's where it ended.
That was so where I like moved. I stayed at my friend's house that night. I got drunk until 4 a.m, took a bus down to Portland to see my family the next day. Was like, I hate, like, when I didn't move back in. Yeah.
Wow. So he was like, listen, baby,
you've been kind of
usually you like do stuff for me and like show me a lot of attention and stuff, but like you've been like moping.
Yeah, really kind of a downer.
Oh my gosh. He's like, you've been throwing tape like willy-nilly.
When I only say something like even like a little bit racist, you know, and it's like, come on, you know, that's kind of my style of humor. So horrible person. I met his parents over the course of that relationship and saw him in them too. So I was like, okay, this is like not, but they antagonize each other just like he did, family. Like in the family. And they just like pick at each other until you explode. And once I was out of the relationship and reflecting on it, I was like, oh, this is like, this is not me. This is like, I will be, like I'll give myself some credit and say like, I have never been like that with anybody else. I just can't stand you.
Yeah.
Like the way and the way that you are.
The veil was lifted. You're like, oh, you're shitty, Philip.
I thought that it was like, I was in my early 20s. I thought that I was like in my like, maybe my like final relationship. I was like, is this like, I was ready to be in love. I was ready to like figure it all out. And so I was like, I think giving a lot of like slack to say like, is this what like, people say relationships are hard work. Like this is work.
Right.
So, and other people talk about like how they fight in relationships. I never had a relationship where I like fought with somebody. Yeah. They'd all been like 6 months long and,
Right.
But yeah, now that I have this perspective of like having been with my husband now for like, been married for 3 years. I think we've been together for like 8.
Carry the one.
Narnia.
You've been together for Narnia?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
That's kind of eternal. Yeah, and so that gives you like
we don't fight. Like
no tape throwing.
Never.
Also, shout out to Scotch, by the way.
Oh my God, such a good tape. Double-sided?
Like don't even, like get out of here with the double-sided. That's
your
crazy.
presents. If you wrap your presents double-sided tape, you are making immaculate gifts right there.
Ooh.
Hot tip.
That's all I want. I just want a nicely wrapped
Welcome
box.
to Jackie's Presents Pod.
For real. We're going to actually do a tutorial at the end of this. Check the link in the bio show
Brought to you by Scotch
websites. And you said that your early 20s. And now that I'm in my early 20s, I think this has given me a lot of good perspective for how I want to be. So
it's so crazy that you're a teen mom. Yeah.
I know. I had my kids when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Heroic.
Wow, that's so interesting. Okay, so this is what this made me think of. Now you're a mother. The whole Scotch tape argument incident is having kids.
Yes. Where you're like, this is not even what we're talking about.
Yes.
Like, ooh.
Well, and just like, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be the one that is
and
mature.
you have to because you have a fully developed brain. And that,
for sure.
Yes.
Well, yes. I
sort
think.
of. It's eroding, but it was developed.
Some of my haters have tried to bring up the science for my brain,
We're not
and
interested.
we haven't gotten there. But true, you're like, you are an illogical person who is shit talking me right now. You're making me rethink all of the choices I made in my life, but I'm gonna try to keep my cool. And then it's like push, Scotch tape.
Yeah. And have you managed to avoid throwing any small office supplies at the wall?
Office supplies. No, I feel like I've said this before. I am a cabinet shutter harder.
Ooh, mama.
So, because you really have to get it out, right?
Yeah.
It's like I am boiling inside because I have one child who's like, mommy, mommy, mommy. And then I have one child, and then the other two are like physically fighting each other.
Yes.
And laughing, but then also crying. And then like,
you're like, Mom,
there's poop involved at some point.
Gnarly.
So I hope my kids, I was talking to somebody about this recently. I'm like, I hope my kids won't think I was an unpredictable mother.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you can kind of predict.
Yeah.
Because it'll be push. And I'm like, okay, we're going to use our inside voice. Listen, this is too loud. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I wouldn't say fuck, but I'd be like, shut the fuck up. And then I'd be like, immediately, I'm like, Mommy's so sorry.
Yes.
Because it's like the second you get it out, it's like that valve has been twisted. And then you're like, I'm good. That was probably not right.
Let me ask you something. But did you ever work in hospitality? You ever work in a restaurant?
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I worked in Red Robin, got fired.
Twinsies, except I didn't get fired. I'm an immaculate employee.
Wow. I don't have the most immaculate employee history.
Yeah.
Good thing stand-up comedy came to me because
nobody
can't
can
really
fire
get
you.
fired. Suck it. I was going to name names, but I won't, of people who have tried to fire me from stand-up comedy. The list is long. And
that's behind the paywall, baby.
That is behind. That's for my Patreon subscribers that I don't have a Patreon. But I also worked at Cold Stone Creamery.
Oh my God, I would kill for a Cold Stone right now.
Oh, okay. I would eat. First of all, also fired from that job. I would eat.
Didn't sing enthusiastically?
It was a lot of like, oh, we didn't know I was supposed to come to work. And that was just last year. But I eat a scoop as I'm cleaning up.
Yeah.
Get a little spoon in there. Eat a little like it on my break.
What's a little like it?
You know, the sizes are like it, love it, gotta have it.
I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. I forgot.
You gotta have it.
You gotta have it.
And then I would literally make one to bring home.
Of course.
And I was like 16.
This is what's called benefits.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Not friends, but did have the bennies.
Yes.
You know?
Amen.
Yeah. But why did you ask about hospitality?
Well, the reason I bring it up is because I feel like working in restaurants was like, it's like it can be high stress, but it's like so meaningless. Like sometimes that you're like, when you're talking about like needing to get it out.
Yeah.
What we would do at I believe it was my teenage Red Robin job, because we had a nice big garbage enclosure.
Yeah.
So it was in like a mall. You're going to want a mall restaurant job, baby.
Check.
So big garbage enclosure, whenever there was like a chipped glass or something, we would save that and then go just like chuck it into the bin. So you could like just have a big loud smash. You get the feeling of throwing, big loud smash.
Wow.
That was
garbage
our like
person.
We hope that it was. I hope it was just a big truck that just went, and it wasn't.
Okay, it was in the dumpster.
It was dumpster. It was in the dumpster because that's a big metal. You know, that's where the good loud sound's going to come from.
But that's so smart.
That was like
so
it's like scratching a little itch, you know. And you're like, okay, no, I'm good.
You're like that too top.
I also turned to pot. That's when I
like. And kettles, or
and calling them names, yes.
No, I mean like that's also what you would check.
I
also turned to pot.
I turned into
Cannabis.
a pot head.
Okay.
And have I find that a little poof. Then I'm like, that'll take that edge off. Yeah, that's of the heated moments. That's like when I'm like, I'm running late. Every light is red. Like stuff out of my control, or whatever. Sometimes I've just found that a little bit of pot has taken away the like heat that I would come to the next location.
Yeah,
with
hit a little vapey vape
and just be like, okay, none of
hit
that.
A little
it does not matter.
Pipe.
Yeah, I pull a 6-foot bong out of the back of my SUV. It takes 4 hours to set up. I have to like go find a hose because there's no sink. We'll put water in there.
Because it's almost commercial grade.
Yeah.
At this point. I wanted to view you taking a drag from a leprechaun pipe, like a wooden, like you pack it exactly with a long like.
That'd be a very cool look. I did that for a while. I had pipes in college.
Did you?
Yeah, I explored every corner of hipster culture at some point.
I love that. Yep. So do you feel like so I'm not a big pot smoker in my day now. Do you feel like I actually went the other route and now I do meth, which actually adds a lot of edge on.
But
and
it makes
you Adderall.
Come on. Punch harder, jump higher.
Right.
Yeah.
But I am just a wrecking ball of a human inside, internally. So let's say that let's say you've had a stressful day, you take a few little puffy puffs, even keeled, kind of chills you out. And then do you feel like those feelings come back later and you have to deal with them later? Or do you feel like you kind of worked it out in your...
I think that would be a difference of if this is like something just like mundane or something that's like, like a red, hitting every red light situation or like something that you can't go back and change or it's not going to come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
I think that is, for me, a little bit easier to just like you just dust it off.
Totally.
And you're back to yourself.
Shake it off, as Swift says.
I would never.
You would never shake it off?
I would never shake it off, no.
Okay, because of Swift.
I try to gather it up instead.
Okay, like Swift fur or like Taylor Swift?
Oh, I'm sorry. Does she not own that?
Does she? Oh my God. My mind is blown right now. People think the Dead Poet record was about, Jake Gyllenhaal? It was actually about her business.
Swiffer Empire. Yeah.
Her Swiffer sweeper picker-upper, which is crazy.
And now it's all paper towels. I think that's a paper towel brand as well.
Wow. This is like we're dropping this right now. Swifties, pay attention.
Please don't. We're fine.
Get your beaded bracelets out.
Peace be with you, and I respect you, and you're doing great.
Do you say peace be with you because it's kind of a cult?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of scared of them.
I mean, I feel like who would you rather have chasing you? Scientology or Taylor Swifties?
Are they chasing me because they want me to be part of their team, or are they chasing me because
not good reasons?
Probably Scientology, because I feel like they are frailer.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah.
We haven't had a couch jump in quite a while.
No. Damn.
Wow.
It could be you.
It could be
this couch.
Taylor!
Yeah.
Wow. And Taylor Swift really benefited from Reese Witherspoon sang her song. I don't know if you know this, on Sing. She covered it. She was the pig.
Great.
With multiple children, speaking of children. And she covered Taylor Swift's song, Shake It Off. No, not a lot of people know this. And that is what brought her to the stardom that she has now.
Thank God for that little pig.
I know.
Wow.
Reese is really a woman empowerer. It's hard to say.
You got a wet mouth right now?
I do. Constantly. I think you're supposed to.
They do say it shouldn't be too dry. Big cup?
Yeah, please. This is turning into an ASMR. So how do you find motherhood in that respect? Do you ever lose it? Are you just like, listen, we're going to talk about our feelings. We're going to and I say that, it sounds very condescending, but I try to do it with my kids.
You're like making fun of yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, let's talk about our feelings. And then I'm like, all right, these are too loud. Let's lock it up.
Yeah.
Mommy's over stimmed.
Well, with a 2-year-old, he is of just, he is mostly very sweet, but he's getting into his impossible demands sort of mode where sometimes, and it's mostly right now because it's still a little bit new. I would say it's mostly funny.
Yeah.
Where he is bath, no bath, bath, no bath. And you're like, and the back and forth is just a little bit funny. The frustrating things are when we were not getting sleep and then he would refuse to be tired even or whatever. And those were hard. And I would say I get more of my spirit crushed rather than getting angry.
You kind of take it personally?
Yeah, I'm failing, or this is falling apart. Whatever, my life is a disaster because of this. Somehow, the most frustrating stuff has probably been in that department where I'm so tired. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do all of the things that I'm supposed to be doing, and
mothering.
Oh my God. Yeah. Or doing that and also existing in the rest of the world. Where I've been hanging out with him. We're having a good time. I have to get dressed to go to a show.
Yeah.
And then he wipes his disgusting face on my new outfit. And I'm but I'm not, I'm still, I think it's I'm usually I got to put him down. And thankfully my husband is very receptive in those moments of being don't let him touch me.
Yeah. I do this to my kids when I'm ready for a show. Okay. Mommy loves you. No hands. No hands. I don't even want to kiss. Just look, but don't touch.
Yes.
Actually, don't even speak to me right now. No, I'm kidding.
I say, good job. Good luck, Mom. You're hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying, and this was courtesy of a fun hang with our pal Adam Posse.
The best.
He was visiting a month or two ago, and it was the first time he had hung out with Fields.
Yeah.
And so I told, of course, Fields is copying a lot, but he can't copy a whole sentence.
Yeah.
And so I said, when Adam was leaving to go to his show, I said, Fields, tell Adam to good luck with his little skits. And Adam's like, if you can actually train him to say that to comedians, it would be so cutting.
Like a little child,
yeah.
Have fun with your little routine that you're doing, this little hobby thing.
I tried to explain to someone that calling them little skits was a rude thing to say to a stand-up, and they really didn't understand it. I was like, I don't know, maybe it's just our own vanity.
Comics, out of reputation, don't usually have egos, I feel like.
Yes, perfect.
Right? No egos.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if somebody says, I think it's too, it's when you get done with a show, people watch you, maybe it comes across as this is, anybody could do this. And so it's let me bestow upon, as an audience member, let me bestow upon you what I think you could do better. Or like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I haven't spent 10 years crafting
And
this.
I see people do this to like incredible comics too. Like when I'm, when I'm opening for somebody that I think is
Name
like
names.
Gabe
You don't have to
Rutledge,
say
I
my.
will.
Oh, okay, right.
Recently though,
Right.
open for
Rutledge,
Gabe.
friend of the pod.
Friend of the
I
pod.
mean, he doesn't know that, but he's hilarious. We
Incredible
love Gabe.
comic.
Yeah.
And just like smashes, does nothing but smash.
Ridiculous.
Never seen him struggle. You know, like the worst set of the weekend, the worst show of the weekend, rather. I was like, oh, he's still doing fantastic. These people just aren't getting an additional 6 tags to every joke because they're not laughing as hard as the other.
Right.
Like, so the bar is so high, and I still see people come up to him after the show and say stuff like, I thought you were really good. Or like,
you should really keep trying.
Yes, that sort of thing.
Oh my
or
gosh.
like, just things that we on the inside would know are like cutting and like demeaning. But they don't know. I guess they don't know that. I think you're right that it's like the best comics make it look so easy.
Oh, for sure. They definitely do. We do. I mean,
we do.
So, wow. Yeah, that's so crazy. I would love to see your child do that. My kids for a while were playing comedy show, and they would like
hilarious
go up and somebody would tell a joke, and I like taught them mic etiquette and stuff. It was so sweet.
That's hilarious.
But now mostly I was like in the running to be on the Beast Game show. Have you seen this? Beast Games? Do you know Mr. Beast?
Isn't he like giveaway money guy?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like a YouTuber, and he gives away money. He's created masses of wealth. So with his wealth, he has made a new game show.
Okay.
And did you see Rat Race, the movie with John Lovitz?
Is this even connected, or is it just an aside?
Connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I saw it probably when it came out.
Okay, so the movie is about these millionaires. John Cleese is one of them, main guy. And these billionaires are all in a room, and they're basically bored with their lives because they have so much money. So what they do is they bet on mundane things about like normal day people.
Okay.
They kind of use them for their entertainment. And so they have a rat race with all of these normal day people to see if they can win this
Everyday
money
normal
around
people?
the world.
Yeah.
They have to go like around the world to find this money. Beast Games is basically that. It's Mr. Beast. He has all this money. He's created this huge game show that starts with 1,000 contestants.
Oh.
And they come in and they're like, my mom has a brain tumor on her liver, and
oh no, that's the worst kind.
I know, my cat's dying, and after saving a baby from a fire, and I only have like 58 cents to my name. And then he's like, all right, I want 3 of you guys to pick one of each other to be eliminated, and then if you don't pick, all of you are eliminated. So it's like he's like mentally like just fucking around with people. And then he's
eventually,
like,
whoever
why are
gets
they so upset? This is crazy.
wild.
All that to say, I was in the running for that. And so that's now what my kids bring up the most is like, I can't believe you didn't do Beast. I didn't have a passport. Like, I can't believe you didn't do Beast Games. I can't believe, like,
you've disappointed us.
Right. Like, if you're a comic, like, get a TV credit, for goodness sake. They're mostly
your children
disappointed
won't
with
respect
me.
you. Yeah,
They won't.
No.
So, and you know what? Okay, going back to the topic of losing it in motherhood, there's nothing I love more. The reason I have this podcast, like, watching somebody lose it in real time makes my eyes sparkle.
See, that is a joy.
Isn't it? What do you feel when you're seeing somebody lose it?
Oh man, I still feel embarrassed.
Okay.
I think that is like still the chief
for the person.
For the person, more so maybe for the people that are with the person.
Okay.
Like Baird and I were at I would say it's the Empress Hotel in Victoria.
Oh,
you know?
Love it. Stayed there once.
Gorgeous.
So good.
Didn't stay there. We went to the bar, the cocktail bar. And
did you have the charcoal popcorn?
I think we did. Oh, banging stuff. Had a couple of good little snackies, some cocktails, and this. It was like it's a tight little place. First of all, it's like extremely
and toy.
It's extremely like designer, right?
Right.
We were at like a little 2-person table, and then we had Fields was amazingly like sleeping in his stroller, so we had him like tucked behind us.
Yeah.
And then this other table came in, and they like in a definite like pathway, pulled a third, like, and not like a small little restaurant chair, but like these like big like upholstered bar bucket chairs.
Wow.
They pulled a third over, so they were totally blocking the path. And a server came over and was like, sorry, we can't add that chair here.
Yeah.
And the dad, it was like husband, wife, adult child, or
white
teen
man.
child. How did you?
I mean, what are the odds?
So this white dad, absolutely fucking lost it. He was so embarrassing. He was like, I stayed here. Like, we just checked out of this hotel. I can't believe you would treat me like this. This is so disrespectful. What kind of establishment? Blah, 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 blah. And me and Barrett are like, just like, oh my God, this guy. And his teenage son must have been mortified. Oh my God.
He's probably used to it too.
He probably is. He's like, this motherfucker's back at it.
He's like, how dare you have fire codes in here that I have to follow?
Is this not America? Oh, it's Canada? Okay. Well, still.
Oh, you guys care about other people here? Not where I'm from.
No, sir. We trample them.
Yeah, we do. With our bucket seats. Wow. Yeah, I love that. I like literally get this, probably not right, but joy when I see people lose it.
When you see like a Karen video.
Oh, yes. Karen. When I see a Karen video, sometimes I'm like horrified for the person, if it's mean. But then sometimes I'm just like, especially in real life, I go through this like grieving process where I'm like, do I run? Is this safe? I'm scared. I'm sad. And then I'm like, wait a second. This is the cream of the crop. This is what life's all about. Like when I see my 4-year-old just fucking go to the floor in the middle of like a Target.
Oh boy.
I'm like, God, that has to feel good.
Play on, diva.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, like I'm usually not happy about it in time.
Yeah.
I'm usually like, but I'm like, I would love to be there with you.
Yeah. Just to get all that out.
And to not care. But like who cares?
Not caring is a superpower. I agree with that.
Wow. And I obviously, by the quality of my podcast, my stand-up, I care a lot. I think people really see that.
Absolutely. Don't bring yourself down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. You would make Reese proud.
And that's my goal. That's why I have an entire back tattoo that's just a portrait
of her face,
of Reese Witherspoon.
But it's not of her. It's of her character from Sing. It's the pig mom.
It's sort of like superimposed, like, you know, those shirts that have like a wolf and then like sort of like a ghost wolf and like a third wolf. It's Reese Witherspoon as the pig, and then it's Reese Witherspoon in Legally Blonde, and then it's Reese Witherspoon in the truly horrible TV show. Little Fires Everywhere.
Ooh, and then there's one up here of the roller coaster from that movie where Mark Wahlberg had his way with her on the roller coaster.
Oh my God, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Wow, Sexual Awakening.
Well, she was involved in one of mine too, which was Cruel Intentions.
Oh my, well, I mean, classic.
Yeah.
Talk about somebody losing it in a good way. Wow, this podcast is getting a lot more horny than I thought it was going to.
I mean, things naturally progress.
Sorry, Mom. We're literally about out of time.
That makes sense. We're yapping.
So I just want to, number one, regulate myself and say, yeah, I think we could all take a deep breath. My daughter says that her preschool teacher says to smell a flower, blow out a candle. And so I want to thank you for being on this pod. I want to just acknowledge your aura
light within me.
And we end the pod with you with the guest giving advice. So if you could, when you're ready, look at the camera. And if somebody's losing it, if they're prone to losing it, what advice? This can be real. It can be funny. It can be shitty. It can be whatever you want.
When you are in that moment, when you are boiling over, have reached your limit, I just want you to remember that if you freak out, you are going to embarrass yourself and you are going to embarrass those around you. So stuff it down, keep it inside, and throw a glass into a dumpster later.
Wow. I think that's honestly the best advice we've gotten so far. I really like that. And also,
a lot of people are going to tell you to let it out, not me.
No. And I would like to say that message is sponsored by Scotch Tape and White Guys.
Absolutely.
White Dads and Kurt Russell, who is a white dad.
Yeah.
And Red Robin. So you heard it first. Make sure that burger smiles. Am I right?
Coast to coast toppings.
Coast to fucking coast talking.
Like
toppings.
it. Love it.
Gotta have it. This has been the manic world of Jaci Terj. I'm going to call you all my manic mateys from now on. So manic mateys, thank you for coming out. Please follow Erin Ingle on all the socials. She puts out some really killer content. Come see her at a show and keep listening, babes. Keep losing it. Bye-bye.